Welcome to The Explainer. Today, from the morning letter written barefoot, we're tackling a topic that could literally be a game changer for diabetes care. We're talking about barefoot walking and this incredible idea called earthing. So you've probably heard this a million times, right? If you have diabetes, you should never walk barefoot. And look, it's not just some old wives' tale. There are real, serious reasons for this advice. Diabetes can cause nerve damage, so you might not even feel a tiny cut, and it can mess with your circulation, which makes healing way harder. So yeah, the whole always wear shoes rule, it comes from a very real place of wanting to avoid danger. But what if that advice, as solid as it seems, is actually holding people back from something amazing? I want you to just look at this picture. This is an 84-year-old patient with a wound that just would not heal for 8 long months. And then, after just 2 weeks of something called earthing, it was completely gone, healed. I know it, right? Okay, we have got to dive into what's going on here. So, the secret of earthing, it's not magic, it's physics. And believe it or not, this all comes down to what happens to your blood when you connect with the earth. All right, so here's the key idea. It's called Zeta Potential. Now, don't let the sciencey name fool you. Just think of it like this. Every one of your red blood cells has its own little force field. It's a negative electrical charge, and it basically makes the cells push away from each other, kind of like magnets repelling. This is super important because it keeps your blood flowing smoothly instead of getting all clumpy and sticky. And this is where it gets really visual. Dr. Steven Sinatra came up with this brilliant way to think about it. Is your blood thick and slow, like trying to pour ketchup from a bottle? Or does it flow freely and easily like a nice red wine? For a lot of folks with diabetes, that blood is unfortunately more like ketchup. What earthing does, essentially, is help turn that ketchup back into wine. 300%. I mean, just let that sink in. This isn't just a theory. A pilot study back in 2013 found that just 2 hours of barefoot walking, 2 hours, increased that Zeta potential we were talking about by an average of almost 3 times. That is a huge, huge change on a biological level. So, okay, what does that actually mean for someone's health in the real world? Well, that brings us to the proof of healing. We're talking real results, backed by real science. This is where it gets incredibly exciting. Just take a look at this case study right here. The HbA1c, that's like the main report card for diabetes management, right? Well, this patient's number went from 6.7, which is in the danger zone, down to 6.1, and then all the way down to a stable 5.9. And get this wasn't because of some new drug, it was just from consistent daily barefoot walking. That's it. I mean, that is absolutely revolutionary. And this isn't some fringe idea either. Look, way back in 2008, a major scientific journal basically said that this Zeta potential, it's so important that it should be used to predict heart disease risk in people with diabetes. So science has known for a while that low Zeta potential is bad news, and now we're seeing that earthing is a powerful way to fix it. So it's really all about breaking this vicious cycle. Here's how it works. High blood sugar damages your red blood cells. That damage then lowers their Zeta potential, which, as we know, makes the blood get all thick and sludgy, and that's super dangerous. But here's the beautiful part. Barefoot walking lets you soak up those negative charges from the earth, which restores the Zeta potential and, boom, you break the cycle. The blood starts flowing freely again. Okay, so you're probably thinking, I want to try this, which is awesome. But let's talk about how to start your healing journey safely. Because how you do it, that's everything. All right, rule number 1, safety first. You gotta be smart about this. Start slow, okay? Find a safe surface like some soft grass or maybe a dirt path. And this part is non-negotiable. You have to check your feet for any little cuts or scrapes before you go out and after you come back in, every single time. Also, it's a really good idea to have a chat with your doctor about a tetanus shot just to be safe. And obviously, if you already have a wound that isn't healing, you need to be talking to a medical professional first. And here's a pro tip, especially when the weather is dry. After your walk, you need to wash your feet really well with clean water. And then, and this is so important, slather on a good amount of moisturizing cream. Why? Because you've got to prevent those painful cracked heels. Keeping your skin healthy is a huge part of doing this safely. Okay, if you remember one thing from this entire explainer, let it be this. Consistency is everything. Barefoot walking works its magic only when you do it consistently. This is not a weekend thing, it's a daily thing. Every single day matters. That's how you get those incredible results we've been talking about. So, if this is all sparking something in you, The best part is, you are not alone in this. There's a whole movement out there, and you can join it. You can be part of a huge community that's already on this path to healing. So really, what's the big takeaway here? It's that maybe, just maybe, the old rules need a second look. We really want to invite you to explore this for yourself, to start your own healing journey. And you can find a ton of information and connect with so many other people doing this. Just search for the National Barefoot Walking Movement headquarters on Neighbor Cafe. It's a great place to start. Hey, if this was helpful for you, if it gave you something to think about, do us a huge favor. Show your support by hitting that subscribe button, give this a like, and ring that notification bell. It honestly helps us so much. And that way, you won't miss what's coming up next. Thanks so much for tuning in.